Nestle Waters supports the Water Ventures mobile lab so that lessons in environmental stewardship reach 100,000 Florida fourth and fifth graders a year. But until we're back on the road, we'll keep sharing our passion online because Florida's water has lessons for all of us. Save up to $1,500 on new.
Melvin's not here.
Who?
Mr. Reese, is he here?
I don't know.
I don't see him.
I don't know him.
Ready, Jenny?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
So yes, I can hear you. Okay. So at this time, I call this meeting to order, the High Springs City Commissioner meeting, November the 12th at 6:30. At this time, we will have the invocation, and following that, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us pray. Most gracious God, again, we just want to thank you for your grace and thy mercy, for how you have truly blessed this city. And we just ask you to continue to lead us and guide us, continue to bless us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And God, we just say a special prayer for our first responders, God. Just continue to keep them protected from any hurt, harm, or danger, God. And again, we just want to say thank you for all the staff they have done over the past year, even though we went through difficult times, but we made it through. So in your sweet holy name we pray. Amen. Okay. Is Kevin gonna put the flag up tonight? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor James,
Here.
Commissioner Jameson,
Here.
Commissioner Jones,
Here.
Commissioner Lavin,
Here.
Okay. At this time, we'll entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda, and we will take the presentation of the certificate off. We appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting and remove the first item of the certificate of appreciation.
second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, and none. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All righty. So do we need to do all these minutes each, or we can do them at the same time?
Same time.
Good. Okay, at this time, we entertain a motion for the approval for the minutes of October the 6th, 2020 workshop, October the 8th and 22nd, 2020 commission meeting, October the 27th, 2020 special commission meeting.
I move that we approve all of the minutes that the mayor just stated.
I second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, and then all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 All opposed, the same sign. Okay, motion carries. All right. I do apologize. I really want to be there tonight, but things happen. Okay, moving on to unfinished business. Item number 1.
No, that's been.
Mr. Mayor, that
That's
is the
scratched.
old
Huh?
agenda amended to remove the unfinished business items 1 and 2. We're moving on to the, where you adjourn the city commission.
Oh, I didn't hear you, Jenny.
The unfinished business was removed and an
Okay.
amended agenda was sent out.
Okay,
So we can go straight to the swearing in.
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of that. Okay. I'm a dog. In a second, man. Michelle, change things up on me. So at this time, I will adjourn. Where are we here? I lost my agenda. Been one of those days. Y'all bear with me here. What in the world? Got my agenda mixed up here somewhere.
Mayor, do you have your email pulled up? It was from Angela where she sent it out.
Well, I can't get to it. I got the agenda from what was in the box today. So what's next? What we got next?
Next item, we just removed the unfinished business, so you just proceed to where you adjourn the 2019-2020 city commission.
Okay. So at this time, I adjourn the 2020 meeting. All right. It's on Mr. DeCosta now.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I think we're going to have comments from the commissioners. Is that correct?
They would like to make-
If you'd like to make comments.
Sure, I will. I would like to just say to each of you, it has been my pleasure to serve on this commission for these last few years. I hope I was of some value to somebody. I tried to do the best that I could. When I was asked to do things, I was there, willing, ready to do what I could. So for that, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to do what I have had the chance to do in the past for the city of High Springs. Thank you.
Do you have anything you want to say?
Anyone else?
I'd like to take a minute and thank everyone who supported me and encouraged me and mentored me over these last 3 years. It went by like a blink of an eye. I am honored, and it was my great pleasure to serve this city who has given me such a wonderful place to raise my family. I am grateful for everything that I learned doing this job. Grateful for the criticism and the comments too, because that helps you grow and become a more powerful and better person. And I wouldn't trade 1 minute for the world. And I really appreciate the opportunity. And I'm very grateful. Ross, you're going to make a great commissioner. You're going to start a learning curve like none other. But I'm really glad that you're going to be sitting up here, and I think you'll do a great job. Thank you so much.
I would just like to thank Nancy for her 3 years that she served on the commission. She certainly was very active in meeting the requirements, not the requirements, but the wishes of the people. And I hope she goes on to bigger and better things.
I don't have anything.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to also to Nancy for serving the city of High Springs for 3 years. And I want to thank the staff and commissioners, all the commissioners. This was a, how can I say, unique year this past year. We made it through. Without the help of you guys, there's no way possible we could have did it. So I just want to say thank you to help us make it through the difficult times that we had to go through. And we made it through with the staff being cooperative with the city manager. I got to just say thank you. We never thought that we'd be going through what we went through in 2020, but that's a part of life. So I just want to say thank you to all of y'all for your hard work. I mean, everybody, attorneys, city manager, staff, finance, I mean, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We made it through, and the best is yet to come for the city of High Springs. Again, I say thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah. Mr. Mayor, I have two presentations. One is certificate of appreciation awarded to Commissioner Levin. It reads, awarded this 19th day of November 2020 to Commissioner Nancy Levin for all of her hard work and dedication to the city of High Springs, its employees and citizens as a city commissioner from November 2017 to November 2020. The city of High Springs signed Mayor Byron Williams and City Manager Joel DeCourcy Jr. It's a presentation to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Also, Mr. Mayor, this is a presentation to you, Byron Williams, in recognition of outstanding leadership and service as mayor of the city of High Springs 2019-2020. I guess we virtually do this now, so I'm handing it off to you.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah. And again, I do apologize for not being there tonight. I really, really tried to, but I didn't want to get a speeding ticket and I didn't want to have an accident. But y'all please forgive me because I really, really wanted to be there tonight. But sometime business call. That's all I can say on that. But thank y'all again for a wonderful year. Thank y'all so much.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ross Ambrose,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm,
that I will support, honor, protect, and defend the Constitution
support, honor, protect, and defend the Constitution
and government of the United States and the state of Florida,
and government of the United States and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state
that I am duly authorized to hold office under the Constitution of the state
and under the charter of the city of High Springs,
and under the charter of the city of High Springs,
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of city commissioner
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of city commissioner
on which I am now about to enter, so help me God.
on which I'm about to now enter, so help me God.
You can take your seat back here. Okay. Okay, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Gloria James,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, honor, protect, and defend the Constitution
that I will support, honor, protect, and defend the Constitution
and government of the United States and the state of Florida,
and government of the United States and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state
that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state
and under the charter of the city of High Springs,
and under the charter of the city of High Springs,
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of city commissioner
and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of city commissioner
on which I am now about to enter, so help me God.
on which I am now about to enter. So help me God.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to call to order the 2020-2021 commission meeting at 6:45 PM. At this time, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Ambrose,
Here.
Commissioner James,
Here.
Commissioner Jameson,
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'll accept nominations and elect mayor.
Mr. Manager,
Yes, ma'am.
I move that we elect Gloria James as the next mayor.
I'll second that.
Second. There's been motion properly second. Any discussion?
Can I make one comment before you go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a problem with it, but I want to just say up front, right now, Gloria is not 100% herself because of some health issues. Everybody probably know that by now. It doesn't mean that I cannot do what you're asking me to do, but I just want to be honest with you and let you know that that's the situation. Those that I have talked to seem to have no problem with it, but I think everybody has a right to know, so I just want to bring that up. Okay?
Any additional comments?
Oh, you have to go.
It's right there in front of you, Gloria.
Oh, oh, boy. Okay.
I think we need to vote, don't we?
Yeah.
There was a
You don't
motion
need to
and a
move, you
second.
don't need to move tonight.
We can do it.
Okay.
You don't need to
All right, good. It'll be ready next meeting.
Yeah.
Everybody can keep their same chair.
Stay at your house, Byron.
All right. Nope, no problem, Scott, no problem.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. Okay, roll call, Ms. Paul.
No.
Select the vice mayor.
Nominations for the vice mayor.
Oh, I'm skipping one already. I'm starting off bad.
You good?
All right, I'll accept the nominations at this time for the vice mayor. Don't everybody speak at once?
I'll nominate Linda Jones.
I'll second that.
All right, it has been properly moved and second that Ms. Linda Jones be elected as vice mayor. All those in favor, aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries 5-0. Linda, welcome.
Thank you.
New elected commissioners' comments.
I'm really excited to start this 3 years, and I'm really interested in learning what it's really like to sit up here instead of out there. I've spent a lot of time out there, and I'm looking forward to learning everything I can and doing the best I can. So thank you for the opportunity.
Okay.
And for me, I says thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for another opportunity to sit here and try and be of assistance. For all of you out there from that dynamite community that went out and did all the good things that they did to make this come to fruition, to all of you that called to say, Gloria, we're with you, or whatever part you had to play in this, I thank you. And I will do my best not to make you sorry that you did that. So again, thank you. All right. At this time, we will go to our next item, which is citizens' requests and comments for issues that are not on the agenda. Please state your name for the record and limit comments to 5 minutes, please. Do we have any?
My name is Zachary Walter. I just wanted to take the opportunity to say congratulations to Commissioner Ambrose and to Mayor James.
Thank you.
On a
Thank you.
campaign. It was very awesome. I think you guys deserve another round of applause. I just want to share, before the campaign, my wife and I, we prayed that the right people would be elected, and we really believe that that's what happens. I really believe in the commission and all of you, and I'm just really excited. I didn't run for negative reasons. I just ran because I love High Springs, and I just have the utmost respect for all of you in the commission. Thank you for those of you who took the time to speak with me, to the city manager, to the other commissioners. I learned a lot during the campaign, and I plan to stick around, and I'm just really grateful for the time that you've given me and how you serve the city. And I just wish you well. We'll be praying for you to have wisdom and success in all that you do. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if there's, oh, sorry.
Yes, I saw her.
Good evening, new mayor. I'm Betty Shumpert. I live here in High Springs, but my request is concerning Pine Hill Cemetery. We, the Andrews, have a plot out there at Pine Hill, but we have more than one really. But the one that has the one that says Andrews Plot, there's a big tree behind the headstone that's about to push up the headstone. We thought it was something else, but we found out it was a tree. So we were really, and we on the, I don't know, those streets out there. We're on the west side of the cemetery in the old part, and there's a big tree that's standing over the tombstone that's trying to push it up. We certainly would appreciate it if we could get that tree cut down. That's my request.
Andrew's Park.
Madam Mayor, is so noted.
I just want to say thank you to all of the city commissioners for keeping the city moving and going. And I want to say a special congratulations to Ms. Levin and for the job that you've done over the last 3 years. And you don't have an ulcer, so you know the best to you. But thank you for all you people that work on the city. You make the city go. And if it weren't for you, the city would not be as great as it is. Thank you very much. Marlon Wilson, what is it, 22869 Railroad Avenue.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it, no one else?
If there's anyone who's attending virtually,
Okay.
Madam Mayor, if there's anyone attending virtually, we'll ask that they please unmute themselves for an opportunity to speak to the commission. I'm seeing none at this time.
Okay, thank you. All right, in that case, we will move right along to new business. Item number 1, appoint chair and vice chair to the CRA board. Discussion.
I move that we appoint Commissioner Ambrose to the chair as chair of the CRA.
Second.
All right, it has been probably moved and second that Ross be appointed the chair, but we need a vice chair.
We need to vote.
We probably need to
gotta
go
vote.
Yeah.
and approve him, so we've got it.
All those in favor of Ross being the chair?
Aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. All right. Motion carries for Ross as chair. Now we need our nomination for vice chair.
You okay with it?
Yes.
I'll nominate Linda for vice chair.
Second.
I'll second that.
Okay. Linda Jones has been nominated as vice chair for the CRA. All those in favor, respond by aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, Linda Jones has been elected as the vice chair. Number 2, reappoint members to various city boards and committees. All right, which one do we have first?
We have the plan board first. I believe you have 3 applications and the 2 current members are willing to keep it. The last application you received was from Marie Thomas, that was sent by email.
Yes.
Did everybody receive that?
Yes, I saw that.
It's not in the packet, I just received it.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, if I may make a comment with respect to this item, I just want to remind the mayor and the commissioners that as far as any of the applicants are concerned, I think we have candidates for the plan board and the Parks and Rec board per our land development code. Need to be assured that they are registered voters of the city. And I know, just going through the applications briefly, I know that there was at least one individual who had a Newberry address. I would just recommend that any motion that's made that might appoint any member to a particular board, that'd be subject to them also confirming that they're registered to vote with the city of High Springs.
All of the applicants for the plan board are residents of High Springs.
Okay.
And you said the two current sitting members are willing to be, or sitting members are willing to be reappointed?
We have 2 members that are current or 3?
There's 2 that need to be reappointed, that need to be appointed.
Oh,
We
okay.
have 3 applications, and then the 2 current members are going to be reappointed. Also. So you actually have 5.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Mayor,
Okay.
I would like to nominate Timothy Bollinger and Robert Riddle.
Timothy. What was the other one, Linda? Timothy and
Robert Riddle.
Robert Riddle. Any comments or discussion or second?
I'll second it for discussion. And I guess I'm just curious, we're involved in the comprehensive plan work and what have you. If we have 2 sitting members with experience that are willing to serve again, and I know we should change things up and there's some experience. Robert Riddle, has a lot of experience with blueprints and drawings and just understanding planning and projects. But do we want to replace, 2 people who have served full terms more than once all at the same time at this point?
Discussion?
The reason why I put forward Timothy Bollinger, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, and Robert Riddle, you're right, Robert Riddle has a lot of experience. I know that there are those who are wanting to serve on the board who are directly involved with some of the changes that are upcoming. Nothing, of course, negative towards Mr. Wilson or Ms. Wilson.
Okay, but we're going to appoint 2. We have to come to a consensus on which 2.
Yeah, that's the motion that was put forward and I seconded it for discussion. I know I'm going to be in favor of just for variety, and changing things up, maybe replacing one of the 2, but I'd like to see one of the current 2 continue on to another term.
Well, you need to put that forward.
So can
You
I
need
do it
to
as
be
an amended motion?
specific.
Okay, so I'd like to put forward that or ask you to amend your motion to be Robert Riddle and Ronald Wilson to remain on.
Riddle and Wilson. So now, Jen, do we vote on the 2 sets individually?
The other one didn't get
There's
a
no
second.
second yet
There's no
Yeah, I realize that, yeah. Okay.
The current motion is for both of these, Bollinger and Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, unless you're going to amend the motion or if it doesn't pass and another motion is made.
Okay, well, she made the motion for Timothy and Robert. So I guess we need to follow through with that one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Unless she's willing to amend.
No.
Okay.
That's correct. We would need to vote on the motion that's on the table unless the movement per Commissioner Ambrose's request amends the motion, in which case we would need a second for that.
We didn't get a second.
Which we didn't get. So-
Okay.
Okay.
So we need to vote on the motion unless it's withdrawn.
Which motion you talking about?
The motion to,
Timothy and Robert.
There was
yes,
no second, so there's no
There was
vote.
no
No, there was a second. for
Except
that.
for discussion only.
Ross, well,
No.
Okay, okay.
So all those in favor of Timothy and Robert, let it be known by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
No.
Aye.
Okay, so that motion doesn't carry. All right, so if we go to the second set of names, we need a motion for Riddle and Wilson. Correct?
Yes.
I'll make that motion if someone will second it.
Okay, someone second it?
Second.
All right, it has been properly motioned and second that Riddle and Wilson be added to the planning board. All those in favor respond by aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. 4-1. All right, we have to go to number 3. Authorize the following personnel to sign checks.
We got
No.
Parks Board.
Well, why am I missing it? I don't have Parks. Okay, go ahead.
Robert, do he have the new agenda there? I don't have it neither. Can you put it up?
Everything's the same, except the unfinished business was taken off.
But I
All
don't
right,
have,
so we're gonna move.
I don't have that, Jenny. I don't have
Yeah, I'm lost too.
I don't have the board members in this packet you gave me.
Yeah,
This sheet here.
he just gave it to me.
So this is the one we have.
Right. All right, we'll move on to Parks and Recreation Advisory Board.
We've had citizen comments. Are you talking about public comments?
Yes, citizen comments.
Are you omitting?
I understand. I should have asked for citizens' comments. It is here. That's my fault. I don't have a, yeah.
May I make a statement?
Mhm.
You understand that you have 2 Wilsons, a Sonia Wilson and a Ronald Wilson,
Mhm.
and you didn't stipulate between the 2. I understand Mr. Ambrose stipulated, but when you made the motion, you did not stipulate between the 2.
He wants his name in the motion.
Huh?
He did say
Yeah, I know he did.
he's the one who made the
Yeah,
motion.
he did make the motion, so I just want to make sure that the public knows the difference between the 2, so that they know which one was the one that was voted. Is that all the number of people that we need to fulfill the?
That creates 5 members.
Okay, so we have the full amount that we need from them.
That's correct.
Are there any other comments?
Madam Mayor, I would recommend, unless there's any more comments, citizen comments, that we take a vote again on that motion for purposes of the record, subject to now having heard the citizens' comments on that.
We need to just do the second.
Yes.
Okay.
He did say Ronald Wilson.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So Rich, you want us to do it again?
Yes, just for sake of the record, just to make sure, in case there was any confusion, and subject to the clarification as far as Ronald Wilson, let's have the vote again for the second motion.
Okay, Ross,
Aye.
you'd like to have a second motion?
I move that we nominate Ronald Wilson and Robert Riddle to take the 2 open positions on the plan board.
Second.
Okay, it has been properly moved and second that Robert Riddle and Ronald Wilson be appointed to the planning board. All those in favor respond by aye, please.
Aye.
All those against, same sign.
Aye.
All right, motion carries 4-1. Okay? So Robert Riddle and Ronald Wilson will be appointed to the planning board. Okay. Now, the next one we have is the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board.
One of the applicants, as the city attorney mentioned, Andrew Brown is from Newberry, so he is not qualified.
Okay.
They must be a citizen of High Springs to serve on the board. And so you just have Candace Webb to choose from for 3 positions.
For 3 positions, and you
And
got,
also Susan Clark would need to be reappointed.
So I'll make a motion, we reappoint Susie Clark. We have to do these separate, I'm assuming, right? So I'll make a motion, we reappoint Susie Clark.
It would be preferable to do it one at a time here, and allow the public comment on each motion.
Right.
I'll second it.
it has been properly moved and second that Susie Clark be reappointed to the Park and Recreation Board. Do we have any comments on that? Anybody on your,
Madam Mayor, if there's anyone on Zoom that has
nobody?
comment, we ask that they unmute themselves and speak now.
All right, in that case, all those in favor of reappointing Susie Clark, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay, it carries. Susie Clark is reappointed.
On the next one, they'll need to specify which seat they're going for. Is it the vacant one that expired this year or replacing Ross Ambrose? Term would expire next year.
I do the vacant one because that's for how many years is it?
3.
I do the, I put her in, I do the vacant.
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
That's about as good as it gets.
Okay. I'll second it.
All right. We, who are we putting in there?
Candace Webb, and
Candace.
for the vacant position in the Parks and Rec.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any comments? No comments? All right. All those in favor, respond by aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Same sign. Okay, ayes carried. Okay, is that it on there now? Okay.
Have 3 vacant positions, so if anybody would like to apply for our Parks and Rec board.
All right, everybody here, if you know anybody that want to be a part of the Parks and Recreation, please advise them that they can apply. Okay, now let's move along to item number 3. Authorize the following personnel to sign checks and investment documents in compliance with section 2-97 of the High Springs Code of Ordinance. The mayor, the vice mayor, the city manager, and the city clerk. Any discussion on that?
Then this would be a motion where you would just incorporate all 4 into the same motion, correct?
Yes, but just state their names because the bank needs that in the minutes. We have to give them-
Will we have to redo that when there's a change in the city
We
manager?
have to do that every time.
Okay.
That would be a separate, just that one person at the time. I'll make a motion that we authorize Mayor Gloria James, Vice Mayor Lynn Jones, City Manager Joel DeCoursey and City Clerk Jenny Carm to sign checks.
Okay. Somebody saying something?
I think
Any,
he seconded.
okay. Any comments from the citizens? Okay, it has been properly moved and second that the vice mayor, the mayor, city manager, and the city clerk be authorized to sign check. All those in favor, respond by aye, please.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries 5-0. Okay, next item, number 4. Consider, okay.
Madam Mayor,
Mm-hmm.
if I could, I will be happy to read the resolution 2020-M. The resolution setting the monthly salary for the office of city commissioner and mayor, providing an effective date. The appropriate motion would be to pass the resolution as read by title only.
I move that we approve resolution 2020-M.
Second.
Okay, that's something else. I don't see 2020 dash. Okay. Do we have any discussion on this? Any citizen comments? Okay, there's a motion and a second that resolution 2020-M be approved. Mm-hmm.
Mayor James,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Ambrose,
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
I think you called my name, yes.
Yes.
Can't hear.
All right. Okay. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, next one is item number 5.
Madam Mayor, this is ordinance 2020-13, an ordinance amending the adopted 2019-2020 fiscal year budget of the city of High Springs, providing an effective date. The appropriate motion would be to pass the ordinance upon first reading as read by title only. And I believe that the second reading is scheduled for our Tuesday meeting next week on the 24th.
Jenny, on the document that we have regarding the first reading, we would need to change the date, right, to reflect the 19th? Okay.
Right. To the 19th. All right, discussion and consideration.
Jennifer, you got anything?
Yes, sir. So this is the first reading. And since this was sent to y'all, we have updates, and we will actually have additional updates for Tuesday. But the main one for this one is we found out we're receiving CARES money that will be booked to last fiscal year, 2020, because it's reimbursement for last year's expenses. So there's 63 and change thousand coming for the reimbursement of admin salaries that we paid when we were shut down, and then additional 258,000+ for reimbursement for first responder, police and fire. So that will, I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that'll put us back into to the good instead of being in the red for the year. Somewhere around 240,000 to the good. There will be, as I said, there'll be some additional changes for Tuesday night. We had some depreciation but I will have those highlighted. Basically, this is the year-end true-up budget that we have to do every year for the financial statements to make sure that we try to show every department without a loss.
Very good. All right, any citizens' comments?
The mayor presenting citizen comments on Zoom. We ask that they please unmute themselves to speak to the commission.
Okay.
And I'm seeing none.
See none? Okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion that we pass ordinance 2020-13 on first reading.
Second.
Because we got to get it done now and then we can look. So, Linda seconded.
Yes.
Linda second. Okay, all right, then it has been properly moved and second that ordinance number 2020-13 be approved. Jenny?
Vice Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Ambrose,
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Mayor James.
Yes. All right, motion carries 5-0.
Mayor, I would like just to add, because the next meeting is so close, I will be sending out the updated second reading on Monday. So I'll get it out as early as I can so that you all have time to look at it.
Thank you. All right, next item is item number 6.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is resolution number 2020-0, a resolution City Commission of the City of High School permitting CMT and hybrid CMT virtual government in the Sunshine meetings through the use of communications media technology and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion would be to pass the resolution as read by title only. Just a couple of brief comments on it. There was some discussion at this point, probably close to 2 months ago at one of our commission meetings about the fact that the governor's order would be expiring, allowing municipalities and local governments to conduct business virtually. And we have since done some further research with this. The resolution that's in front of you actually very similarly tracks the county's ordinance or resolution that they have passed. This allows for a hybrid meeting where we would have at least a quorum physically, and it would permit during our pandemic, particularly we'd be allowed to have up to 2 commissioners participate and vote virtually. We do think it's supported by the law, particularly based on the orders from the governor in terms of promoting or recommending that we congregate in small groups, and those sorts of orders are still intact and applicable to our local government meetings and proceedings and so forth. So that is what's in front of the commission to consider for tonight. And I also have with us Andrea Parker from our office, who was instrumental in putting this together for the city tonight. And we've already presented this, I think, at least at one of our other city clients, I think Newberry, and will potentially be also presenting this at an upcoming agenda or our commission meeting and a couple of our other city clients. So that's what's in front of you tonight.
Okay, we have any discussion?
I had a question, and maybe I'm missing something here. Under F, under voting, it says in case a member refuses to vote. I thought that Florida law required elected officials to cast a vote unless they had a legitimate conflict of interest on an item. So is it even possible to refuse to vote?
Well, the refusal would be in the form of, I mean, you do raise a point that gets into the ethics regulations that govern the city officials and elected officials. But yeah, the refusal, I guess, would be in the form of they're conflicted out, or they have a conflict of interest and so forth. So, the choice of words, maybe we could change it to make that a little bit more clear, but that would be the intent with it.
And Rich, I may be able to add to that. Good evening, commissioners. This is Andrea Parker. The refusal to vote is the assumption that someone is actually refusing to vote on an issue. Florida law does require you to vote unless you're recusing yourself for some specific reason. So this is only talking about a very rare circumstance that, again, we were following the county's emergency order in the first place, and we mirrored most of their language unless it did not mesh with what our code of ordinance said. So we followed along on that aspect as well. And so it's in that rare circumstance that someone who is able to vote for some reason, I don't know that I've ever seen this happen, but would not participate in the vote without a proper recusal. And that's what that's contemplating.
Florida law. I didn't think you could. So that was just my question.
Well, we were just saying the last sentence, Rich, we were talking the last sentence. In the case a member refuses to vote, his or her vote will be counted in support of the proposition. And I would argue, and where you're going on this is the mere fact that if I refuse to vote, I'm actually voting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if I get where you're going. So I'm saying if I refuse, I'm actually voting for it.
Yep.
That's correct.
I'm good with it. I was a question and
right.
Here we go. Thank you.
Rich, I would have just a question on this one here. This involves more than just pandemic. So when you do this, you're talking about this is going forward. So in essence, I want to make sure we understand this doesn't just apply to pandemic type of situation. At some point in time, if we have a commissioner who cannot make it to a meeting, or they're on vacation, I'm assuming, they could join the commission meeting via computer and be able to participate.
Yes, that is a good point, and what we would probably recommend, if anybody can ever define when the pandemic actually ends, we probably would put this back on an agenda as a discussion item to see how the commission has, experienced application of this. Is it working? Do we want to limit it? Do we want to rescind it because we're past the quote unquote pandemic? But yes, point well taken.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that when we adopt this, if that's what you choose to do, this is going forward unless we come back and alter it. This is going forward regardless. The pandemic ends next week. This thing still stays in effect unless we change it. It's not contingent upon the pandemic. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? Any citizen comments? Okay. Then we need a motion.
I move that we pass resolution number 2020-0.
Second? You gotta be quicker.
Okay, it has been a motion made and a second that we approve resolution 2020-0. Paul. Jenny.
Yes.
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 I can hardly hear.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Next item is number 7. Discussion on back property tax on city properties.
Madam Mayor, let me first ask Jennifer, the list of the additional parcels that you've identified for me today, have those found its way in front of the commission tonight? Do they have that in front of them yet, or?
No, they do not, but I can email the list, but I can probably explain what they are, because the majority of them are the lots that we signed over to that development with Basti,
Okay.
and then we got them all back. So that's, Rich, if you look at the blank where I didn't put a description, that's all of those.
Okay.
So that's the majority of them. And then one is the house that we inherited from the county that was to be burned and never did. So we're paying taxes on that one. And then the property in Patricia Gardens, there is a lot there. And then the biggest ones is the property that we bought by the ball fields in Edgemore, in front of Edgemore, I guess. That's the majority of them. And then now Rich can explain all that.
So thank you, Jennifer. I'll give just a little bit of an overview of what's going on here. There's 2 or 3 action items that the city needs to take. I think one is at the staff level, certainly. And then there's a couple of decisions I think that the city commission is going to need to make. But basically, what's happened is the county has sort of stiffened up their policies on claiming exemptions to certain parcels. And this is not something unique to the city of High Springs. I know that some of the other cities in Alachua County are dealing with similar issues. But essentially, we've been receiving notices of back taxes on certain parcels. And I think in the city of High Springs case, we've got an issue that we are dealing with the appraiser's office, where some of these, the tax bills are not, they may be addressed to the city of High Springs, but we're not showing any record of actually receiving them. And it's sort of a proving a negative type of thing, which the county has found problematic with that position. So we're still dealing with that. But in any event, the list that that Jennifer has put together probably amounts to, if I just had to estimate here, probably 20 to 25 parcels. And it totals, going back 2 to 3 years, back taxes that are about $15,500. And a lot of them have to do, in this case, as Jennifer mentioned, the High Springs land development, where the developer did not follow through, and pursuant to the agreement that the city had with the developer, those parcels, because they did not follow through with the development, were automatically conveyed back to the city and left for the city to have to figure out what they're going to do with. So from the staff level, we are recommending and working with Jennifer that the city go ahead and pay the back taxes. I think in certain cases, and we've already had a little bit of success. I'm not going to say it's been extraordinary success, but in some cases we'll be requesting refunds for various reasons. But we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where ultimately we lose the parcels necessarily through a tax sale scenario. So we pay the back taxes and then we request a refund, whether it's through the Value Adjustment Board or the tax collector's office or the state. Just sort of depends procedurally where we are with each of these parcels and whatnot. So from the commission's standpoint, what we need to discuss particularly tonight is whether there's an interest in keeping some of these parcels And if so, and I would say not if so, I would say regardless, we will be applying for tax exempt status for the 2021 tax year. The deadline for that is March. So we have several months to do that for 2021, but we would have to declare that there's a municipal or a public purpose for those properties. So we would have to work with the city manager and staff to figure out what our position would be in terms of the public purpose to try to obtain tax exempt status for each one of these. But in addition to that, we would also want the commission to determine whether they have an interest in declaring any of these parcels surplus. And if we declare them surplus, which route do we want to go? Do we want to declare, or do we want to donate them through, affordable housing channels in that regard, or competitively put these out for auction and sell these? So those are if the commission could give us some guidance tonight on some of these types of properties, what the city attorney's office can do is put together resolutions declaring certain of these parcels as surplus that we put on the hopefully the December agenda for consideration by the commission.
I'd like to add too, the majority of the money that for back taxes is the Edgemore properties that we purchased a couple years ago, and they were supposed to be, I believe the property was going to be used for parking for the ball fields. And so I believe that's what it was. And actually, Commissioner Ambrose, you might remember that through Parks and Rec Board, that we bought them with, I believe, Wild Spaces money. But they're several thousand every year in taxes because they are commercial lots.
Excuse me. We've bought the land in front of Edgemore, and it's supposed to be used for a baseball field and parking, and I don't see Damon here. He
just left.
But in looking in the taxes, when we were considering buying this property, they weren't very, all right, so we're having to pay the taxes since we purchased it, is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So that wasn't declared city property and therefore is not taxable?
Rich, you could probably answer that better.
I'm looking at the tax years. I know the commission doesn't necessarily have this in front of them, but these are 2018. I see two that are 2018, two that are 2019, two that are 2020. The reality is if they were surplus or if they were claimed as exempt at the time, for whatever reason, the county has not allowed that. We don't want to, we can always ask for a refund, but we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we lose the parcels through the tax, the auction process. But, this is just, I don't know what happened in 18 or 19 or 20 with these particular parcels. I mean, we definitely need to go back and look at that. I'm not all that familiar with them, but certainly if there's a way to claim exempt or refund as an exempt property, we're certainly exploring that.
Well, on that piece of property particularly, I would move that we pay the taxes until we can figure out what's going on in order that it is not auctioned off.
Agreed.
That was a surprise.
I think what the county was telling us is that we have to prove that they're going to be used for city business or city something related to it. And I guess because they were purchased and nothing's been done with them, that the county's saying, well, we're not doing something with them, so they're going to tax us.
That could be part of it. Another thing that we want to explore, particularly with the ball field parcels, is, again, I mean, whether we actually receive the tax bills, because, I mean, even when you receive your tax bill, you still have an opportunity to claim exemption. And, you know, this is an issue. I mean, particularly if I can't speak to all 25 of these parcels, but certainly the ball field, 6 of them. And if we can build an argument that we never received notice, then that is certainly grounds for an exemption retroactively. But, you know, we just saying we didn't receive it so far has not carried the day with the county. So that's kind of where we are.
Yeah. Mayor?
Yes.
Regarding the ball field property, there's just no argument the county could make. We haven't been trying to do something with it. We actually received a CBGD grant of 140. Well, it's in our budget, and it's been, and we can only have so many CBGD grants active. So we're finishing the one at the sports complex, and then this one's next on the list, which included the addition of ball fields and parking. And there was a delay in getting the engineer and drawings, but we've been active as a city in arranging the funds and financing and committing wild spaces to that property since the time it was purchased, when Robert Bassford was still a recreation director. So there's documentation that we've been doing something on that property with an intent of public purpose. And then regarding, you know, the other lots that came back to us, you know, from the developer situation that didn't work out, you know, I say, let's obviously pay the money and look for a recommendation from staff on how we can, you know, create the most equity for the community with those, whether that's, you know, putting them up for sale or Habitat for Humanity or some other organization.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Well, I thought we filed that when we got that land. I thought when we was going through that process for the park, I thought we went through all that process to let the county know that we was designating this land for recreations.
Absolutely.
That's what I made that assumption, I guess. I guess we didn't do that. And the other lots, now it's 2 of those lots over there, the ones that's next to Catherine L. Taylor Park. We want to recognize those as for city use for the future, if we want to add on to that park. 2 of them there. I don't know which one is which. And then the other ones, I'm with Ross, let's go and pay them. And I think we need to go back to the plan. Let's go back to the plan that we had before to work with other nonprofit organizations to build affordable homes in that area. And this time we won't get off track. But we need to keep with the plan, what that community wanted, and have those different organizations, bring those organizations back to the table again, and see can we get those and give them to them or whatever for small price or whatever. But I know this is going to be up for discussion later, Rich. But I think that's where we should go with these lots. And again, I thought on the assumption, I guess I was wrong. I always thought when you're a nonprofit organization, you tax exempt all together, but you have to file for that, huh? Rich?
You certainly have to file for tax exempt. It's a little different with churches. Churches have to file for tax exempt status. That said, it's a good idea to do it. The IRS will deem most churches, as long as they check certain boxes, as being tax exempt, regardless of whether they filed for it or not.
Okay. So I make a recommendation that we put this item on an agenda for we can discuss it more in depth, and we can vote on what we want to do.
I would agree, but I think staff needs to come back like they did before and show us the particular lots and I agree with you, Mr. Mayor, on the deal as far, or I'm sorry, Byron, on what we did in the lots before, how we allocated them out. I have no issue with going back. I think the staff needs to come back and show us, because I don't have all of it in front of me. I only got the 7 pages here. I didn't get the additional. I apologize. But I think they need to come back and basically say, I think we ought to do this with these, we ought to do this with these, but this is what we need to do. And then we have something to go. But I think something concrete from staff showing us what to do. Now, Rich, help me out here just for a second, and this is for my own edification. So we turned these lots over to this company, right? And nothing happened, and they came back to us. So I'm just curious. The land was in their possession. Why are we paying the taxes during the time that they had it? Why can't we go after that company? I don't, that doesn't make sense to me. Why aren't they going after the company who held the?
I actually agree that it would be worth writing a letter from the city actually to the developer asking for reimbursement on this. But the reality is we're the title holder of the property, and that's what the county cares about. And so we inherited it as is. And so we're kind of stuck with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean we don't have a claim against the developer. Sense-wise, I think there's a lot of parcels at issue, but then when you add up the dollars and cents on those particular developer parcels, it actually doesn't add up to nearly as much as as comparison the 6 ball field parcels. We'll take a look at that and see if there's a letter to the developer on that.
Okay. So even though we turned the lots over and just, I know history, and Byron, if you get me this, so we turned the lots over, we gave it to them. We still retained the title even though we gave them the lots to build on?
No.
So, but you just said we had, it was titled in the city's name.
As we sit here today, and that's what counts, unfortunately.
So we never signed over the property.
We did. I don't know the particulars of the development agreement. I think it was entered into somewhere around 2013, and we conveyed over these parcels. So it was for a period of years titled in the developer's name, and then through their inability or failure, whatever the reason was, not to develop those properties, they were conveyed back to the city in roughly 2018, 19, and well, 2018, I would say. So for the last 2 years, at least, we've held title to these parcels.
So what is the amount of money we're paying for? How many years are we paying for? Did they pay the 5 years they had it?
Well, I haven't been able to do a comprehensive review of each one of these parcels, but it did strike me that a couple of them I looked at looked like the county was carrying forward taxes from years prior to 2017. And so a portion of that would certainly be under the prior owner's watch.
Strange concept here, but I think the people who actually had the title land at the time should pay the taxes. I know that's strange in the deal, but if they had it from 13 and it was titled to them, then by God, they should pay the taxes. And then when it came back to us, then we assumed the taxes.
Well, it's similar. I understand what you're saying. It's a fairness question. I agree, but it's one of those things where, you know, when a property is liened, it is the owner of the property who has the responsibility to deal with that or face a foreclosure, and then the burden is on the owner to turn around and make claims against those parties who are responsible for what was the mess that was left there for you to clean up.
So what are we doing?
Well, I think that it would be I think I would recommend to the commission tonight, as far as any type of motion, it would be to approve city staff to continue working on paying off these back taxes and requesting refunds as we're able to. And then secondarily, I don't think we need a motion on it, but I think the consensus is for staff to come back at a meeting in the near future with a recommendation as far as how to treat some of these parcels in terms of declaring them surplus and what to do with them. If I said anything that you would modify, Jennifer, please speak up on that.
No, I'm in agreement with you. I think we need to get them paid.
I'll make your motion, what you just said there. I couldn't repeat it. It was too long.
Second.
But I say, let's pay like what you talked about, but at what point in time do we want the staff to come back? Are we looking in December? Are we looking at the meeting in December? Is that too soon? Right now, we're gonna have a new city manager.
That's right.
So, but I think this is her deal. You know, that's her deal, is development. So, I mean, I do like the fact that, you know, her being involved in how to go forward with this, because that's one of her key things, but what's the December meeting date? So she'll be here a week. Well, that's plenty of time.
And we actually will be paying for these, so we actually will have a little bit of time, as Rich said, to get the exemptions done for the ones that aren't, and then to come back to you. So that would give her more time, because the taxes would be up to date.
Right.
Okay, thank you. So I'll do that motion.
And I seconded it.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second to do all that good stuff Rich asked us to do.
No good.
And then we'll go from there. Okay, next item number 8.
You got to vote.
Yeah, we have to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor, respond by aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries 5-0.
What a screw up.
Let's, on that item, let's allow citizen comment, and then we'll take the vote again.
No, I'm sorry, yes.
Oh, it wasn't here. Okay, any citizen comment?
Madam Mayor, if anyone on Zoom would like to comment, we ask that you please unmute yourself. Speak to the commission. Seeing nothing at this time?
No one, Rick.
Okay, there's no need to vote on the motion then again. There's no.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we'll move to number 8, resolution number 2020N.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Resolution number 2020-N, a resolution of the City of High Springs urging the Florida Legislature to approve Medicaid expansion for certain qualified adults under the age of 65 in an effort to improve the health of Floridians. We do have with us tonight Diane D'Imperio, who is the healthcare chair of the League of Women Voters of Florida. And I think she's available to answer any questions or discuss the resolution that's before the commission tonight.
Anybody have any
I've done a
questions?
presentation. I can give a few words introducing it again if you like, or if you're familiar with it, I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Discussion?
I do better. Why should we do this?
Why should you pass a resolution or why?
Yeah.
Okay, I have just a few brief sentences that I can use as an introduction. I think that'll answer the question, but if it doesn't, I'll be glad to add some more. The League of Women Voters is working with other organizations throughout the state to try to encourage the legislators to pass Medicaid expansion in the 2021 session. We want to make sure that they know how important it is. Right now, there's about 1.5 million low-income uninsured people in Florida that could benefit from passing this bill. Well over 10,000 of those people are residents of Alachua County. People who enroll in Medicaid, we have a lot of data now from other states that have expanded Medicaid. People who enroll in the program are healthier. They're able to work. Communities, especially rural areas, benefit because their healthcare providers are in better financial shape. We see that hospitals in rural areas where we don't have Medicaid expansion, they're closing, if that sounds familiar. The citizens in the county that are right now using their hard-earned dollars to pay off medical debt are able to then, instead of they can pay off the medical debt, they can use that money to spend in their local communities. They can buy food and shoes for their kids and pay the utility bills. In Alachua County, the county would probably, those tax dollars that they're hounding you for, we would be able to save $4 million in Alachua County tax dollars if we had Medicaid expansion, because they're spending that money to provide healthcare services to people who would be enrolled in Medicaid. A financial analysis shows that the state, which right now spends some money to match Medicaid, would not have to spend any additional funds. So we feel that this is good for the state of Florida. We feel that it's good for citizens of Alachua County, and certainly for the citizens in the rural areas of Alachua County, that many of whom work and don't have health insurance. And when I did the presentation originally, we submitted some data to show that our county health statistics really could benefit from access to primary care. So there are many health and financial reasons to pass this expansion. And I would be glad to answer any questions if that didn't answer the one that you asked.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I like that straightforward approach.
No? All right, any citizens' comments? Nobody? Okay.
Let me ask her a question. Ma'am,
Yes.
I'm curious when you talk about, and there again, I'm not well-educated on this, so I mean, I appreciate it if it's a bad question, but
No,
you said it saves.
Have you asked your questions? I don't want you to prove something that you don't understand. It's a technical area, so please.
Well, I'm just curious on the money part of it. When you said that it would save money, because I guess federal money's coming in, but then does that not, you may save it one place, but they're going to take it from another. So is it, and I don't mean to sound whatever, is it almost a shell game that we're moving the money from out of the state to the feds, but then the feds have got to get the money someplace? Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, no, the money's important and it is complicated. So obviously you're asking the right question. So Alachua County's, but you're talking about the state money, but so the Medicaid program is a matching program. So the state pays some of it, and then the feds pay some of it. And some of the state match comes from the local county. So we pay about, I don't remember the exactly, but like Alachua County pays about $3 million of that match. So the money that is used to match Medicaid now, the state pays 40% of the total cost of medical services. The expansion money, the state pays 10% of the match. So that's an incentive to try to get the states to enroll to participate in the program. Now, I'd like to remind you that federal money is our money, because way back in 2011, when they modified the taxes. So we're paying for Medicaid expansion now. Floridians are paying for that in their taxes, whether we accept the services back or not, whether we ask for our money back or not, the money is being taken out in taxes. So there's three ways that this, it's not exactly a shell game, but there are three ways that there's a trade-off in terms of that we can insure people without it costing us additional money. So it's an important question. So one is that some of the people that are enrolled in what we call regular Medicaid, where the state matches 40%, some of those people actually will meet the criteria to be in expanded Medicaid. So that reduces the amount of money that the state has to put up to cover those same people for the same services. In addition, right now, the state allocates millions of dollars to pay for healthcare and mental health services to this population. So the health department gets a lot of money, Meridian gets a lot of money. You know, there's a lot of money that goes out. When it gets down to us, it's not that much money, but at the state level, it's millions of dollars that will not have to be spent because those same services that the state is funding 100% of will be paid for by Medicaid. And then in addition, because there'll be billions of dollars that are added to the state budget for healthcare, that goes to the providers and the providers are taxed. So two different organizations have done an assessment at a very granular level and find that they project that there will be actually a savings, there'll actually be a reduction in the amount of state dollars that will be spent to provide services to these same people. And in, I think, July, a peer-reviewed journal actually did a survey of all of the states that had expanded Medicaid, and none of them reported that it cost them any additional state dollars.
Thank you.
And the study, I'd be glad to send you the studies that show that, by the way. Those are, I can't remember. Jenny, did I send the FPI study to you? I thought that I had, but perhaps not.
I believe you did the last time you were here. Yes, ma'am, I believe you did.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the one study is already available to you, and there's another one that I'd be glad to submit. But you can take a look at that one, and it goes through the actual numbers. I just sort of went through the concepts. It's an important
Okay.
question. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Are we ready to move forward? We had no citizen comments. Do we have a motion?
I don't think we have a motion right now.
I'm willing to make a motion that we approve 2020-N.
Second.
Okay. It has been properly moved and second that 2020-N be approved. Madam Palmer?
Commissioner Jameson?
Madam Mayor, I interrupt, but we should allow public comment on this.
You did?
We did.
Specific to the motion on the floor.
That's right. We didn't put a motion forward first, which we should do.
I did that, and I asked citizen comments twice.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Not my place to say. It's an objective observer.
Okay.
Commissioner Jameson?
Yeah, I'm just trying to grasp the money part of it, and I appreciate on the deal.
And if
Okay.
I would be glad, to spend more time with you afterwards, especially if you want to look at that study. I mean, I think it's really important because this was part of the biggest misunderstanding going forward. So please take a look at that study, and Jenny can get in touch with me. I'd be glad to go, discuss it with you.
Right. Well, I can read it. The problem of it is we're voting tonight. That's my issue. So I got to vote tonight. I can read it later, but it doesn't help me tonight. I'm going to take you at your word, which I normally do to people. And that's the way I usually try to lead my life is you have no reason to fabricate to me. So when you tell me that the majority of the states, it did not cost the states more money, it actually helped on the deal. I get burned occasionally, but I take people at their word. So I will take you at your word that this is something that has been proven not to add additional state money. So I'll say yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Mayor James,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Ambrose,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is number 9. Consider ordinance 2020-14.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Ordinance number 2020-14, an ordinance of the City of High Springs authorizing the use of public funds for purposes of litigating and advertising to educate and inform the electorate of Alachua County's proposed charter referendum, asserting the appropriate legislative findings as to the expenditure of public funds and the benefits accruing to the city therefrom, asserting that such expenditures will serve a proper public purpose, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and establishing an effective date. This is our second reading of this ordinance, and the appropriate motion would be to pass the ordinance as read by title only. And as some background on this, the commission may recall that this ordinance was in front of them a couple months ago, probably more like early October, I believe, for first reading, and it passed at that time. The second reading was tabled because the meeting at that meeting we only had 3 commissioners, and I think the consensus was among the 3 commissioners that they would prefer to have the entire commission present for this second reading. And this again has to do with the county growth management referendum that that actually passed by the voters earlier this month in November. The gist of it involves the county's ability to maintain control over land use and zoning issues after a parcel of property is annexed into the municipality. And it obviously was something that was very hotly contested. Some of our fellow municipalities have already engaged in litigation over this. The city of Alachua filed a lawsuit that was followed by a lawsuit filed by the city of Archer and Newberry combined. And the 2 lawsuits were 2 different judges in here in Alachua County. The Newberry and Archer cases in front of Judge Brazington, and the Alachua cases in front of Judge Keim. There is a procedural process that's unfolding right now in terms of potentially consolidating the second filed case, which would be the Archer/Newberry lawsuit, into the Alachua case. There is a hearing next week on November 24th, where the county and the city of Alachua will be taking up what we call motions for summary judgment, where they will basically be asking Judge Keim to side with them in the case, each side taking polar opposite positions. And of course, the city's position is that the referendum is unconstitutional for reasons. And then the goal would be to have the consolidation hearing in December, subsequently filed by motion for summary judgment by the city of Newberry and the city of Archer. So what is before the commission tonight is an ordinance that would authorize and endorse the city of High Springs also joining in on that litigation. And procedurally, what the approach I think would be if the city of High Springs passes this tonight would be to approach the county attorneys who have been cooperative from a procedural standpoint on some of these things to see if they would stipulate to adding the city of High Springs to the Alachua lawsuit along with the city of Archer and Newberry. So all four are in one proceeding. That would be ultimately the goal. For the commission's consideration, as far as costs of litigation, we would anticipate that the initial stages that I just described over the next 2 or 3 months would probably cost the city about $5,000.
Well, for discussion, I'm going to move that we consider that we pass ordinance 2020-14.
Second.
Okay, do we have citizen comments?
Right.
Madam Mayor, if anyone on Zoom would like to speak to the commission, we ask that you unmute yourself now to do so. There are no comments on Zoom, Madam Mayor.
No comments.
Madam Mayor, I have a question for clarification for Rich. You said this was passed on first reading in October?
I believe it was, or maybe it was September, but several weeks ago.
I know we had it because I used the word absolutely.
That is a memorable moment.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just know we did have a vote because I instead of yes, so
Yes.
that's how I remember.
Yes.
Feel very strongly about it, so I think that.
I think you said the same thing afterwards, I believe.
Mhm.
Not to add fuel to the fire, but I think a couple of the commissioners in Newberry, instead of saying yes or absolutely, they said sue them.
Yes. Yes, we did. And
We had it.
yeah, and it was well.
That we
After
passed
we
it.
passed
I
it.
don't think we passed it on first reading. I believe this is first reading.
Okay.
I could be wrong, I'll have to research it, but I believe this is actually first reading. And that the second reading is going on Tuesday.
Okay.
Can you do this, if this is first, did you say, can you do the second on Tuesday?
I already have it scheduled for Tuesday.
All right, so
Okay.
3 days, 4 days ain't gonna matter.
No.
I'm quite sure it did come before us. I remember
It did.
coming.
Yes, sir, it did. He did bring up the subject up and it was discussed, but the ordinance was never passed on first reading.
I can't remember.
Quite possible, yeah.
4 days won't matter.
No, it won't.
So we just need to pass this. Can we just amend the deal and just pass this on first reading and then Tuesday we do it? Rich, 4 days isn't gonna matter, right?
That's right. At this point, no. The election's already happened, so the motion, yes, we would be absolutely fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the point I was about to make. We're a little too late. And I'm totally in favor of this. And the reason I'm totally in favor of it is we need to inform the people on voting because some of the literature that came out during the election period told them to vote yes on that amendment. I mean, most of the literature came out and say vote yes, and it was coming out of Gainesville. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that right there. And we need to inform our people, because I think we've discussed this. Legally, could we advertise, let people know how we should vote on different issues that coming from the county? So I'm very much in favor of it, because our people need to know instead of listening to people coming out of Gainesville.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
in regard to that, it was brought to my attention when it came up several weeks ago that when I was discussing it, some thought that I was trying to influence votes or tell people how to vote. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're
Understood.
just trying to inform them so that they know how to vote. And that was just a clarification. We're not trying to tell them how to vote. We just
No.
want to make sure they have the information, because you don't get information.
Yeah, that was understood. I got it.
Well, the vote's over now. There's no
Right.
vote now. It's in the court system now.
That's
So
right.
whatever money we spend is going to be to basically pay for the lawyers' extensive fees.
Well,
Yes.
I'm looking for in the future. There's a
Agreed,
possibility.
Oh, you can't see his face.
I agree, Byron.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
Rich caught it.
Yeah. I wondered if Jameson's nickname is Peanut Gallery.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so we've got a recommendation to, and a second to approve tonight for first reading and to come back on Tuesday for second reading.
That's correct.
Is that what I'm understanding?
And for clarification, the commission did discuss it on September 21st, but it was under a city attorney's report, so the ordinance was not presented.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that,
I apologize for the confusion. I feel like it's been discussed many times, but we'll get there.
Thinking attorneys.
all right. We're on you.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes, absolutely.
Mayor James,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Ambrose.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to touch those two. Yes.
Okay. A motion carries 5-0. All right, we're ready for city attorney report and update.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to thank Commissioner Lavin for her 3 years of service, and it's been a pleasure working with her on a number of crucial matters for the city. And welcome Commissioner Ambrose, and we're looking forward to continuing on and working with him and developing a relationship with him. So appreciate it, and we look forward to it.
That's all you got, Rich? Okay.
We can talk about that's all we have tonight.
Oh, okay. City manager's reported update.
Yes, ma'am. I'll concur with the city attorneys on the congratulations, Commissioner Ambrose and Commissioner Levins for her service, and you, Madam Mayor, for your continued service.
Thank you.
And just to segue into the CARES Act, it was previously mentioned, we received a substantial amount of funding. We utilized that funding to provide touchless bathrooms throughout the city, and also a digital sign in front of City Hall is coming, just to name a few things.
All right. Are they working on the bathrooms yet?
They're completed.
Ooh,
Yes, ma'am.
I have to go by there tomorrow.
That's it, Madam Mayor.
All right, commissioners, we're gonna let the newbie go first.
I do not have anything.
All right, that'll change.
It may, but I'm not going to add to the length of the meeting right now just because there's an opportunity.
Madam Mayor, I have nothing.
Mr. Jameson,
Oh, we know who's.
Commissioner Williams.
A couple things. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Mayor James for your reelection. Thank you. Congratulations. And Ross,
Thanks,
I could be there.
everybody.
I wish I could be there to fist bump you to say congratulations to you also, but I see you around town somewhere. So welcome aboard. Somebody just called you the newbie, but you're not a newbie, you're just a freshman.
Yeah.
You're a freshman. So congratulations, and we look forward to working with you throughout the year. And also, I just want to thank the first responders for the hard work they did this past Saturday on the food giveaway for Farm Share, the fire department and the police department and other agencies through the area. We fed, I think it's 567 households this past Saturday. Yeah, 567 households was fed this past Saturday. So I want to say thank you to those guys and to for working and gals for working so hard to make sure we got that food out. Again, we say thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Well, Mr. Ambrose, you get a welcome aboard from me as well.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. We know we got another good appointee here on this panel. All right. Any other comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay.
Thank you.
Like